Hey everyone, it's Casey from the blog Middle School Teacher to Literacy Coach, and I'm here today to talk to you about a product in my TPT store called the Middle School Student Literacy Profile. I'm going to start by just giving you a rundown of how this product can be used in your classroom. First of all, and most importantly, it could be used to piece together the big picture of who your students are as readers and writers. All too often as districts, I think we fall short by relying on only one piece of data to make really important decisions about kids. And this would compensate for that by making you look at 5 different pieces. The other way that this could be used is to inform your universal instruction in the reading and writing workshop. It could also be used to help form intervention or extension groups for reading or writing. It could be used to track student progress across the year. Could also be used where you look overall at your class to see where most students are making gains and where most students aren't making gains to help inform your teaching instruction. Another way that it could be used is to look at a specific subgroup of students to see how they're making progress. You wouldn't necessarily have to use it with your whole class or classes. You could just focus in on a certain group that you want to gather further data on. And last but not least, if you're like me and live in the wonderful state of Wisconsin and you have to complete an SLO every single year, which is basically like a mini action research paper where you have to set a goal and gather data across the year, this could be a perfect tool for you as well. So I'm going to just run you through what the literacy profile looks like so that you get a quick glimpse of it. First of all, there's the cover sheet, which lists off the 5 different pieces of data that you can include on the literacy profile. That would be, the first one would be a district computerized reading assessment and or the state assessment information. This I left blank and wide open for you to just record anything that your district specifically uses. Like my district uses STAR. I know a lot of districts use MAPS. The next form is the benchmark assessment data. So whether your district uses Fountas and Pinnell, the DRA, the QRI, you can record that data in on the data sheet there. A place for spelling, the writing sample, and the sentence dictation. So I am going to start, thanks Tico, I am going to start by walking you through what I've included to help you assemble this literacy profile. The first piece I've included is for the benchmark assessment. And this is a place that you can record down the student's motivation level, what letter they're scoring independent, instructional, and hard on, their reading accuracy, their fluency, and their comprehension, places to write notes. I've included a sheet that might guide how you think about what you're learning about students while you're listening to them read. And this is a transformational tool because it really summarizes who students are as readers, what their strengths and weaknesses are once reading gets broken apart. The next piece of the literacy profile, the spelling. So you have 2 choices for spelling. Choice 1 would simply be to administer a 40-word spelling test to students at the beginning, middle, and end of the year, or just the beginning and end of the year if you choose to do it that way. So these 40 words are all words that students commonly misspell and misuse. So it's really going to give you good data on what types of words you should use in your word study and vocabulary instruction. Another option would be if you want to put students into a spelling stage. So what I've done is I've listed very explicit instructions for you of how to administer the test, and I have gathered what I would consider stage 1, 2, 3, and 4 words. Every word is listed with a sentence, and basically how it works is if a student scores 7 out of 10 or higher on a stage, they would move forward into the next stage. I've included this sheet that students would take the test on. It's pretty simple to administer to a small group or a whole class. You can have students even grade their own, write their score on the bottom, and then if they score 7 out of 10, they'd move on to that next stage with you. And if not, I just have them take out a book and read. So it's pretty simple and doesn't take too long, and you know which stage students are in right after they're done. You also probably will be surprised with some of your high-level readers when they might not be your high-level spellers. So it's kind of neat to give different students a chance to shine by looking at how they are as spellers. The next piece of the literacy profile is writing. There's an open-ended writing prompt. Once students are done with the writing prompt, they get 10 minutes and they write on a hot topic that I've listed. They count up their words and they write that for you since that is part of the rubric. The rubric looks at 11 different pieces of data about their writing. So the different pieces are the number of words, capitalization, spelling, complete sentences, punctuation, ideas, organization, how the writer begins and ends their piece, word choice, sentence fluency, and voice. You score each on a 4-point scale. Each different category is very descriptive and tells you pretty clear about where that student would fall. And then at the end, you can total up their points and see which stage they fall in. There's a descriptor for each stage. You can also break it out into the different criteria on the rubric to see where students are falling short and what they're doing well in. The last piece on the literacy profile is the sentence dictation. You will read 3 sentences out loud to students, and it's really neat data because it's not like a grammar quiz where it's a predictive structure. It is, you will naturally see what students do. Do they hear where the complete sentence ends? Do they know to start it with the next sentence with a capital letter? Do they know where to put the commas? Do they know which homophone to use in context? You'll find out all this stuff. And then the other piece is the grading sheet that goes with it, and it really breaks down what you're going to give students points for, and then also you total it up and they get a percentage. It's also itemized at the end, so you can see, based on the numbers, if students got, like, for instance, words 12 and 28, that means that they need help using correct homophones. So it's broken down into subcategories, which is super nice. So I hope that you'll check out the literacy profile in my Teachers Pay Teachers store. If you have any questions about it, feel free to email me or send me a message. I look forward to talking to you guys soon. Thanks for tuning in.